Hey, you got time for a beer? I know I do. My name's Jake. Welcome to my show. It's Thursday, or we'll be here shortly. You can find me at tubajake_69 on Untapped, YouTube, Twitter, and Instagram. Tell me your stories. I want to hear them. It's probably going to mean you messaging me, but tell me, and we'll figure it out from there. The beer that I have today is a peanut butter porter from Destihl Brewery in Normal, Illinois. It's American porter with peanut butter flavor, nutty chocolate and smooth. Chocolate and caramel notes from roasted malt collide with creamy peanut butter flavor, creating a luxurious combination on the palate. Subtle sweetness, medium body, and creamy mouthfeel give way to a smooth finish, providing a liquid dessert sensation for the senses. Cheers! So it's supposed to be a peanut butter porter. It's going to be chocolatey and smooth and peanut buttery. Sounds like it's going to be creamy, which is interesting. You don't always see that with that. Usually you get it with the stouts. But the porters tend to be a little bit lighter bodied. Like with the stout, you're generally not going to be able to see through the beer, and with a porter, generally you will be able to see through the beer. Oh. Not much left in there. So it's supposed to be peanut buttery, which I kind of like. It's 6.1% ABV, so it's a little bit higher than what I would normally expect, but it's also a porter. So in general, porters are heavier than a stout, really. Porters, because from my understanding, porters were made for porters, the guys that would carry bags from ships, portaging equipment and whatnot. A lot of times bags, sometimes other things. But at the end of the day, it's been a hard day, and you want something heavy to take the weight off your shoulders, let's say. And that's what they would do. Porters are generally sweet, light-bodied, so they taste like they're easy to drink, but also heavier in alcohol, which means they tend to be at a higher ABV, alcohol by volume. 6.1 is actually kind of low for a porter. Usually they tend to be up around 10, 8 to 10. This one I have never had before. It's New Brew Thursday, after all. Let's see what this one's like. Getting a little bit of chocolate. It's kind of nutty. Oh, what was that? That's kind of gross. Let's not talk about that movie. Is that Austin Powers? Oh, it's Nutty. That sounds right. They're talking about poo. Yeah, so gross. Anyway, what's it like? It's dark. There's a deep caramely flavor to it. It's nutty, like it's supposed to be. I don't know about smooth, but it's very drinkable. Light-bodied for sure. Does this remind me of a beer? Actually, I just recently had the Founder's Porter, and this actually reminds me more of that than it does any of the other porters that I've had. I had one recently from the Armory that tastes a lot more like peanut brittle than it does like peanut butter, which I liked a lot. And this one's good. It's darker and less sugary than that one was. Dark, light, a little bit fruity. I mean, nutty instead of fruity, but this one's pretty good. what does this remind me of? This reminds me of getting out of marching band practice. So there's one time that my brother and I got tickets to go to see the Red Hot Chili Peppers, but it was on a Friday. And we had marching band when we had to go to see the Red Hot Chili Peppers, which was terrible, which means we needed to get out of it somehow. And luckily, my brother had cancer, or had cancer. This was the year after that, so we were like, oh yeah, it's a big deal appointment that he's got. He's got cancer. It's a very good excuse, especially when you're in the drunk tank, that you got cancer, and you're not at marching band practice. Also reminds me of another time. Like I said, skipping out on band practice. Another one of my friends had a very severe nut allergy. Another one of the tuba players was like, here, try this chocolate spread. It tastes really good. So Elwood dips his finger in, tries the chocolate spread. He's like, hey, what's in this? It was Nutella. Nutella, if you don't know, is like hazelnut peanut butter. It's hazelnut butter, but you put a bunch of chocolate in with it, and it's delicious if you're not severely allergic to tree nuts. Elwood's excuse for not going to marching band was he ate a nut, which, I mean, if you knew the people that were saying these things, it's very funny. The fact that Elwood almost died, not as funny. The fact that Dom almost killed Elwood, a little bit more funny. Still not as funny as Elwood almost dying, but it's a little bit funny. Let's see, other times of not going to band practice. I mean, there were other times that we just went to band practice, and we probably shouldn't have been at band practice, but we went anyway. So when I was a junior, my college band director decided that he was going to retire. I mean, I stayed on for years after that, but it was mostly to mess with the new band director, which backfired because he really actually liked us being what we were, because we tried to uphold traditions that he was trying to squash, which I think he has by now, but I don't know for sure. But Mixed Drink Friday was a thing. If we were having band practice on a Friday that we didn't have a game, we didn't really need to be there. As tuba players, we didn't need to be there. The rest of the band might have needed to practice, but there's like 10 of us, 16 of us by the end. Like 16 of us that we knew our stuff. We didn't need to be there, so we would have a drink before practice generally. Usually they were not during practice. I didn't ever get in trouble for that because I masked it well, because blue is super easy to hide in Gatorade bottles because it looks like Gatorade. And you can open up all the tops out of Gatorade and pour out the stuff that you need to pour out, so you can pour in the stuff that you need to pour in. And it just looks like you're handing out Gatorades. Whereas if you're standing on a picnic table and everybody's passing around a gallon of, let's see, what was that? It was not Magic. The Magic is Hot Damn and apple cider. This one was apple cider and honey whiskey, which is delicious. If you've never tried that before, definitely do that. But yeah, that was that was definitely not me. Standing at a picnic table was probably me because I did that a lot. But that at that point I was not there for that because I would have been like, hey, wait, this is a bad idea. Anyway, that's the beer. It's very good and reminded me of a lot of great stories. I have a quote for you. This one is from Tina Fey. Yesterday, it was Tina Fey's birthday. So they had a quote from Tina Fey in this thing that I get my quotes from. Tina Fey said, "Say yes, and you'll figure it out later." And really, there are a lot of things that I wish I would have said yes to that would have been very difficult to figure out that I did not say yes to and wish that I would have. Yeah. Anyway, you can find me at TubaJake_69 on Untapped, YouTube, Twitter, and Instagram. Don't forget, all at TubaJake_69. I'll see you next time when you got time for a beer.